Thank you for waiting for us. We had a USADA drug test, and the commission also had tests for blood and urine, so we apologize, but they don't let you out of there until they basically get most of their tests done. I'm not going to, it's late, I'm going to give the microphone to Daniel to say a couple of words, and then we'll take all your questions.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, firstly, I just want to thank my team. It's been a great training camp. Thank Gary Shaw, all the guys. They've been behind me the whole way. Tonight was my night. It's a little bit frustrating. I thought I could have offered more, but unfortunately I got caught, and that's the way it goes. Miguel Cotto is a great champion, and he deserves what he's got. So I just look forward to seeing him in future fights at middleweight. A great fight would be Golovkin and Cotto. So I look forward to that, and it was disappointing.
Daniel Nestor with theboxingboys.com. I just want to ask you, did you feel like he surprised you with his power? I mean, being in there with Golovkin, what's the comparison?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he did have good power, but he had good speed as well. I was expecting good speed, but I think it was not that it was just hand speed. He was fast at getting to where he needed to be, as well as having good hand speed. So that did surprise me a little bit, and it will surprise a few others as well. I mean, his height can be a little bit tricky. He's very low fighter, and if you don't watch for a split second, he'll catch him.
How do you feel how would he do against Gennady?
It'd be an interesting fight. I mean, Gennady is a big fighter. He's a strong fighter, but he also has great footwork as well. So I mean, it'd be a good fight. I'd like to watch that one.
How you doing? Brandon Robinson with Vibe Magazine. Question for you. You made weight yesterday in the weigh-in. Did you feel sluggish out there today? Did you feel the difference in gaining versus what your weight was before you?
I don't want to make excuses at all. I mean, it was we made the weight. It wasn't easy. It's never easy, but I didn't feel 100% out there. But Miguel Cotto is a great champion. He's a great fighter. He's fought the best fighters in the world. So I'm not going to blame losing 3 extra pounds on what happened tonight. I got caught, and that's what happened.
I want to just say a couple of things. First of all, I want to thank Miguel Cotto and his team for giving us the opportunity to fight for the title. I want to thank Rock Nation for promoting it and giving us the opportunity as well. Billy Tracy and Gary Francisco, part of the team that brought me on a few years ago, and it's been a great ride, and we do have a great team. One thing I'd say about Daniel Geale, and you can go on with your questions, he never, ever, ever has made an excuse. And there's no excuses tonight. He is a true champion. He said he'd make the 157. We agreed to the 157, and he made the 157. But I want everybody to know, the writers in here, that I personally am still opposed to catch weights for championship fights. And I believe that the champion can fight at whatever weight he wants to, as long as it's not over the limit of that weight class, but shouldn't take that advantage and make the other fighter not be technically in that weight class. Daniel's a true 160-pound champion, and he's honest. The last 3 pounds were really tough, but he hydrated, and he was who he was out there.
Hey, Daniel over here. Daniel, I just, when you got to the arena tonight and you stepped on the HBO scale, they say you were 182 pounds. That's all. And you were in your street clothes, so maybe a few more with the clothing. I'm wondering, can you just say, from the time that the weigh-in ended until you got to the arena tonight, what did you do that put on? I know you were obviously a little dehydrated, but what did you do to put on that much weight that, in that span of time? I mean, was it just liquid? Did you have a huge meal? What did you do to put that much on? Thank you.
It's a bit of both. I mean, yeah, you go through different stages. I've worked with different people to help me, to assist me in hydrating properly and getting the nourishment into my body. And I think I've done it pretty well. But some people say you can put on heaps of weight. Some people say don't put on that much weight. I mean, it's up to the individual.
Daniel,
No pieces. No. It's just sort of basic foods. I mean, pastas, fresh fruit and vegetables. I mean, yeah, just the normal stuff. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Dan, I gave him my old diet.
Daniel, when you shook your head to the ref in the fourth round, was it because you were injured or you were hurt, or was it you just had nothing left in the tank?
I was frustrated, disappointed in myself, and he caught me. That was it.
Any more questions? This is Cotto's night, and we came and we thank you all for waiting for us. So we're gonna leave the dais now and turn it over to Miguel. He's, as Daniel said, he's a great champion, long-term time friend of mine personally, and got a great trainer in Freddie Rhodes, so that makes them a great team, and Gabby and the people that have made Team Cotto. So personally, as a promoter, I give you all the credit in the world. You fought a brilliant fight tonight. I personally didn't know if you would come back like you did, and so you'll know Daniel said you were stronger than he thought, and you were a lot faster than he thought. And basically in your footwork and how fast you got inside. So thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Good evening. A big night for Rock Nation, a big night for Cotto Promotions, a wonderful and brilliant performance by the champion, Miguel Cotto. All of you are here tonight to listen to the champ. So Miguel, why don't you give him a couple of words?
All I have to say is thank you to everybody. We worked really hard in LA. Freddy is the mastermind behind everything I did for the last 2 years. With no doubt, my best years in boxing. And I said Freddy, after the end of the fight, he is the best thing I ever could have in my career, and he really is. Thank you, Freddy.
Questions?
Miguel, can you tell us specifically what kind of things has Freddie done for you to revive you as a fighter? These two performances against Martinez and tonight were spectacular. What has he done to enable you to do that?
He just brought the confidence I lost after dealing with 2 losses in a row, my first time in my career. He bring the old Miguel back, and he just is the reason Miguel is here right now.
Miguel, with a win like this, obviously there's going to be comparisons to Gennady Golovkin because this is a common opponent. What do you say to that matchup now that you were able to face someone that he's faced and you did basically the same or better?
Gennady made his own fight, I make my own. There's no point to comparison with that. I just came here to do what we plan to do in LA. I think that was just perfect. It was a perfect plan. The plan Freddie had in mind for 10 weeks in LA. We just were here to make this plan happen.
Geale, right here. After the fight, right here. After the fight, you showed a lot of emotion. You were pumping your fist. You were very, very excited. We haven't seen that much excitement from you after a win. Usually you're very reserved. Why all the emotion today?
After being for over 55 days working my ass every day, I think is the best, one of the best years, one of the best fights I had in my career, and I just was happy.
Miguel, Brandon Robinson, Vibe Magazine. Question. You took a year off. What did you learn about yourself from the last fight to now, which maybe you didn't know?
I think the year off just helped me to heal every dullness I have, every pain I have in my body. After being here for 14 years, was the best. After getting ready in our team, spend the whole year out of boxing was the best thing we could do for perform like that today.
Miguel, your first fight here at Barclays Center, what do you think of the crowd support, and is there anything different fighting here as opposed to Madison Square Garden?
It's a great arena, great venue. People here was phenomenal. I just have to be thankful for New York. No matter where I've been in New York fighting, people always been supporting Miguel Cotto.
Freddie, question for you. Congrats again on the performance tonight. You know, Cotto and Canelo are now on a collision course. How do you stylistically see that fight playing out, and do you think Cotto can get a fourth spectacular knockout in a row against Canelo?
I think so. I mean, I've thought about that fight a lot, and I've watched a lot of tape on that opponent, and I thought it would happen actually sooner than it is. But I do like that fight. I think it's a great fight for us. It's a great fight for boxing. It's a great fight for the world, actually. It's two really good fighters going at it, and that's what we want to see. And I will get Miguel ready for that fight, and I feel that we will win that fight.
Miguel, on the first knockdown tonight, you talked about the plan coming in. Was that something that you just saw on opening, or was it your plan to then step up the aggression after those first 3 rounds?
The plan was follow Freddie instruction all the time, and he just said to me in the rest minute that he wants me to push a little bit the fight, and we just did it.
Miguel, in the back, over here. Congratulations, Miguel.
Thank you.
The fight with Canelo Alvarez, can you give me your thoughts on Canelo as an opponent and your desire to have that fight next?
That's going to be just another fight. Canelo just going to be another opponent, and we're going to be ready for him. That's all I can say about it.
You really think that's maybe another fight for you in terms of what you think competitively, but in terms of the marketability of the fight, I mean, it's a fight that the fans really want to see.
That's going to be a great fight, a big fight for us, for the whole world of boxing. But at the end of the road, for us as a boxer, as a trainer, we just going to prepare ourselves to be ready for whatever Canelo had in mind for us.
I have one other question regarding the Canelo fight. what will the weight for that fight be? He's been fighting at 155 pounds for, I believe, his last 3 consecutive fights. Obviously, you came in 153, or as you say, a small middleweight, if a middleweight at all. What would be the weight for that fight? You're both the same size.
If he been fighting in 155 for his last 3 fights, I've been fighting in 159 against Martinez. My weight was 155. I was fighting 157 with Geale. My weight was 153.4. We can make it in 155 with no problem.
Thank you, Miguel.
Miguel, what are your thoughts? Would you believe that Canelo should come here because you're the champion and fight you here in New York?
No matter where the fight happens, I'm going to be ready for him.
Miguel right here, Andy Amelia with ES News. Everyone's talking about Canelo and Triple G, but you arguably gave Floyd Mayweather one of his best fights ever. How intriguing is that rematch with you for his last fight?
I've been here always looking for the big names, the better opportunity for my career, and we are going to just sit and talk about what's going to be the best for us as a team.
Thank you.
What? No, I didn't.
Miguel, ¿nos podría decir en español
Freddie,
lo que estaba...
I just, for all the slack you get for being a offensive trainer and not good at teaching fighters defense, Miguel's defense looked outstanding today. I mean, weaving, catching shots. I want to commend you on that. And Miguel was a beautiful performance. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I like offense, but I know defense too, and I get the perfect student with it. He listens very well, he's very disciplined. I mean, we worked really hard for this fight, and it showed, and thank you.
Frank, I'd like to ask as a trainer, would you rather have Cotto fight Triple G or no?
Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter. If it's small or it's the middleweight, fight Triple G wouldn't matter if they like fighting Canelo.
I get ready for either one, I don't care.
All right, sir, please wait for the mic in the back. We have a question. Go ahead.
Sí, Miguel, ¿nos podrías repetir en español esto que estabas explicando, tu pensamiento sobre una pelea con Canelo? ¿Cómo la verías y en qué peso sería?
No tengo ningún tipo de manera de observar o ver la pelea diferente con Canelo que no sea una pelea más o un oponente más en mi carrera. Canelo es un peleador fuerte, la pelea que el público está comentando, y el peso sería algo a discutir, pero no veo nada en el camino para que la pelea no se dé.
Miguel, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Amir Khan's been talked about as the opponent for Mayweather, but he didn't look great last week. You looked spectacular now, 4 times in a row, and fighting around 154, 155. Could you fight Mayweather again, and is it even doable?
We need to sit, Freddie and me as a boxer, as a trainer, and talk about what's going to be the best for us.
And Freddie, what do you think? Would you like to do that? Do you think Cotto could beat him now?
I do. It's a tough fight, but I do think Miguel's big enough and strong enough to beat him, and we'd have to fight a perfect fight, but I think we're very capable of doing that.
Cotto, una pregunta en español. El plan era, vimos muy bien cómo le pegaste cuando le pegabas abajo. ¿Ese era el plan, pegarle abajo y tirarle la izquierda con la que lo tiraste?
El plan era hacer y seguir lo que vieron, que fue Miguel Cotto alerta en todo momento, colocando su golpe, y en el momento en el que Freddy me pidió que atacara más al oponente, pues en ese momento pues sentí la libertad de dirigirme hacia él y atacarlo.
One more question, please.
Sí, Miguel, por acá. Luego de la pelea de Canelo, luego de la pelea de Golovkin, tu nombre fue mencionado por los dos, queriendo opinar contigo,